What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Orys AI. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a quick rundown of how to use the Orys AI platform. This should give you guys a good overall idea of how to apply it to your specific use case. And I'm going to be covering a commercial electrical project specifically, and I'm going to be heavily focusing on lighting especially. Um, so whenever you log in, you're going to land on your projects page. This is kind of like your centralized dashboard. You'll be able to see all your ongoing, past, and upcoming projects with different statuses that you can set up. This is really for your internal tracking for your team. Um, and right now, I've already uploaded this PDF document. I called it Hello Future Customer. I know it's cute. Um, and it'll show you a preview of all the pages involved in your project. And over here on the left under plans, you're able to see all the individual pages where you can like rename pages, delete pages. It's up to you. Today I really want to focus specifically on the lighting plan and the power plan. But yeah, I already mentioned, right, the lighting plan especially. um, but before we actually get into performing the takeoffs, I want to quickly go over one of our core features, which is under our library. So I've created my own cost catalog, which you can do. That's what you can do as well. You can create as many cost catalogs as you want, and over here you can see I have different folders set in place, kind of covering all the areas I need for my electrical project. So I have one for dedicated for labor, and under this file I have just one which is called Journeyman. He's getting an hourly rate of $45. I have one for lighting fixtures, which is one I'm going to be focusing on, like recessed LED troffer, and then I have panels and so forth. And I also have my assembly set in place here. So this one could be like a good example of like, okay, here's how much it costs to install one recessed, one 2x4 truffer. This is measured per unit each. So if I also wanted to kind of get like an overall assumption of how much something could cost, I can always change the item numbers here and get going. But that's just a quick rundown of the catalog. What I wanted to specifically work on today was processing my vendor quotes so I can perform my takeoffs on the project I had shown you earlier. So I've created this mock-up vendor quote from Lone Star. It's quoted to me and my company. And you can see it's just a random list of materials for the electrical industry, and the total comes out to $13,000. So typically, now actually, before I actually get into explaining, let me just go ahead and uh, upload this to the AI chat. So typically, whenever you receive a vendor quote, depending on what systems you have in place at your company, you would have to you probably have a spreadsheet of all your cost catalogs that tracks both your historical pricing as well as your vendor quotes, and average market pricing and whatnot. And so whenever you receive a vendor quote, you have to go delete all your existing or previous prices, and you have to add new ones. And if you don't do that, you have a template. You have just hundreds of Excel files spread across many different folders, and to be honest, that's just a big hassle. Um, so we've built a system in place to help you save time over here. Um, we had a lot of questions about AI functionality, like, hey, how good could it actually perform? And we saw that, look, whenever it comes to the AI actually performing on the drawings, the technology is not there yet. However, little things such as updating your cost catalog and maintaining your cost catalog and just minor things like that, it's actually able to do a very good job, like close to 100% success rate. That's the data that we have, and it saves tremendous time. It's yeah, I mean, all these things like cost uh, uh, your template upkeep, your cost catalog upkeep, and maintenance. It all adds up. And you can also see over here the AI always confirms with you before it proceeds to take any action. And so I just told them yes, proceed with USD, and make sure to add it to a file called miscellaneous. And so now it's performing that action. Um, and with this extra time, I can now focus on bidding on more jobs, increasing the chance of me winning more jobs, increasing my profit. That's ultimately the goal that we have for the companies we work with. And so far, it's been very successful. And I'm very excited to uh, continue continue with this mission. So you can see over here, it added this miscellaneous over here, and it kind of spread all the vendor quote items according to each folder that it's required to be in. So it organizes it for you, and if you wanted to always change, like, hey, move um, move the 4-inch square box to grounding, for example. Now I don't know why you would do that, but that's something that you might want to do, and you can just tell the AI to do it, and it'll do it in a couple seconds. So now that we have all the catalog and information set up, we can go back to projects and start performing our takeoffs. So before you saw the different pages under plans, now you have your takeoffs. Now you have access to a bunch of standard tools, right? If you want to measure your square footage or your linear footage, you can use these tools. But since I'm focusing on the lights, I'm going to focus on using the count. So I'm going to go ahead and name my takeoff 2x4 recessed lights. I can add a product description. I can communicate with my team. Hey, John, please update me on the status with this XYZ. Now I'm going to associate my count to an item that I've just added to my catalog, and it always reminds you that the price is been expired, and I'll show you actually in a little bit. So now there's a lot of lights over here. I can count them, but to be honest, I don't really feel like doing it. I've been doing takeoffs all day. So instead, I just switched over to my template matching tool, and all I need to do is highlight the symbol that I wanted to find for me, confirm search. There we go. It found all the symbols from this page, and now I just associate it with the takeoff that I've already created and approve. Here we go. And now if I go into my reports, I can see, hey, it updates in real time, right? And I can add I think my face might be covering some sections of it here, but you can add your profit, insurance, percentage, contingency, and you can export to Excel. You have multiple functionalities. What I really wanted to showcase over here was that same vendor quote that I uploaded. It's in orange because it's expired. The vendor quote expired on June 13th, and we noticed with our users that was a big problem that they were dealing with. They would get so many vendor quotes all the time that it would kind of be hard to track what's been the most recent price that we have on this specific item, because ultimately the smaller contingency you're working with, the more accurate your numbers are going to be, which means the more profitable you're going to end up with. The more profitable you're going to be. And it's just a standard, simple little things that really make a big difference. And this is one of them. If I wanted to see the quotes again, I can just simply come here and I have access to the quote. So what's also pretty cool about this is if you're a contractor who works in different cities or different states even, You have this section to keep track of all your vendors. So you don't have to scramble through different messaging platforms, emails, and phone calls to figure out, hey, who was that vendor I worked with the last time I was in Houston. Instead, you can just have everything being tracked here according to what you upload on the platform, and the AI automatically extracts the vendor rep's email, the phone number from the rep, the location, and the actual vendor name, right? And whenever you click on it, you're going to see all the quotes that that vendor has sent to you. And you can even click on specific quotes again to see, hey, what was the items covered here? And you can click on one item, it'll take you straight to the catalog. So we've seen this be extremely useful for our users. Um, just saves them so much more time, and that extra time they're using to bid on more projects, win more work, and just make more money ultimately, right? Continue to build more things. Um, Contractors are ultimately the ones that really are shaping our country, and so we really want to do our best to provide them with the complete platform that allows them to save our most valuable asset we all share as human beings, time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, please reach out to our support. We have our email and phone number on our website. And we really make it a priority to help with support and answer whatever questions you may have. If you ever come across, if you just want to, if you just have a quick question that you don't necessarily feel like reaching out to and everything, we have a guide set up as well on every page. It's just over here, so you can just click it and it'll give you a walkthrough of how each page works, um, and it explains everything in detail. It's pretty easy to learn, really. We've seen that on average it takes about 2 to 3 days until someone brand new is able to learn how Orys AI works. And so we're very confident that it's easy to learn. Um, but again, thank you guys. Please reach out with any questions or any feedback. We're always open to new ideas and whatever you think should be there. All right, take care.